Good day to you all. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to have this opportunity to say a few words to the 7th Africa Security Symposium. I want to start by introducing myself. I am Major General Abdul Khalifa Ibrahim. I'm a Nigerian and I come from the Nigerian Army. I took over as First Commander of the Multinational Joint Task Force on the 6th of August, 2021. I'm in my 3rd month as the First Commander. Now, a little bit about why the MNJTF came to be. Of course, the Multinational Joint Task Force is shortened as the MNJTF. From 2009, unfortunately, in northeastern Nigeria, specifically in Borno State, we have had the issue of an Islamic fundamentalist group known as the Boko Haram. It started as a kind of joke, you know, some young men, using the influence of religion and what they call bad governance and general poverty within the society, especially in the northeastern part, which is predominantly Muslim, to start an uprising. And everybody, the government inclusive, thought this is something that could be handled, within a short time, and then remedies could be looked at to see how this would stop. Unfortunately, it blossomed. It became very bad. The government, lost control of some areas. And, when the government responded and the Boko Haram were pushed out of Maiduguri and other centers of population, they came to have a safe haven in the Lake Chad Basin areas. And the Lake Chad Basin areas, like covers about 4 countries: Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and Chad. This is an area that historically has been challenged on the issues of development, on the issue of infrastructure. The terrain is difficult and hostile to some extent. And, these fundamentalists came there and used the vacuum of little governance, presence of governance to, have a foothold in this region. It's a vast region. The population cumulatively is estimated to be about 30 million people. And in terms of size, it's over 2.4 million square kilometers. So when you look at it, you know that we are talking of a vast area. Now, the activities of the Boko Haram in these areas, by 2015, early 2015, made the leadership of the Lake Chad Basin Commission countries, Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, Chad, and Benin Republic, which has an observer status, to come together and form the Multinational Joint Task Force. Why the Multinational Joint Task Force? So that there will be collaborative and joint efforts by the armies of the countries of the Lake Chad Basin and Benin Republic to tackle the issue of the insurgency, the Boko Haram within this area. The mandate of the MNJTF, briefly, is threefold: to carry out counterinsurgency operations and ultimately defeat Boko Haram in the operational area. Number 2, to pave way for the return of internally displaced persons and refugees to their ancestral homes. And thirdly, to create conditions for resettlement and, humanitarian assistance to be carried to people that need it. In broad outline, that is the mandate of the multinational joint task force. And this task force has its headquarters in N'Djamena, Chad, where I'm speaking to you from. And we have troops in the 4 countries. Sector 1 is made up of troops from the Cameroon with headquarters in Mora, while Sector 2 is made up of troops from the Republic of Chad with headquarters in Bagasola. Sector 3 is made up of troops from Nigeria with headquarters in Mongono, while Sector 4 is made up of troops from Niger Republic with headquarters in Difa. We carry out joint operations. We carry out operations by contingents within their national borders. Some of the operations we have carried out in the past include Operation Amnifakat, Operation Yankin Tafki 1 and 2, and of course, to pacify the area, we definitely have to carry out other operations, but those are part of our future plans, which I don't think I should discuss in this platform. Talking about the MNJTF, in the first quarter of the year 2021, the MNJTF reassessed its operational plan for Operation Yanchin Tafki 2 by dividing the operation into 4 phases. Phase 1 was a precursor operation, which was activated in April for the sectors to jointly conduct clearance operations on mutually identified threats along their common boundaries, with the aim of shaping the battle space for the main operation that will come up later. While talking about the non-kinetic operations, we realized that no counterinsurgency operation can completely succeed without effective non-kinetic operations. Therefore, in recognition of this, the multinational joint task force also conducts influence/information operations within the Lake Chad Basin area. In this regard, we adopted a multi-pronged support supported by the Lake Chad Basin Commission and other partners, which involves the use of flyers, press releases, radio broadcasts in key local languages across the countries of the Lake Chad Basin. And this is to counter Boko Haram propaganda activities. We make use of the languages of the area, which is Kanuri, which is Kuduma, which is Kanembu, and Hausa. Additionally, the force carries out civil military cooperation activities, such as medical outreaches, quick impact projects, and others, so that we can win the hearts and minds of the populace and foster greater cooperation with the troops. In this regard, we have partnership with the United Kingdom government, which has been very, very supportive of us, and also the European Union. We have done a lot in this regard, and the feedbacks have been quite encouraging. Talking about the current security situation, yes, we know there are some challenges here and there, but we are not resting on our arse. The kinetic operations have been largely successful, as they have led to the neutralization of several insurgent fighters, destruction of their camps and logistic bases, and recovery and seizures of various quantities of arms and equipment, and also the liberation of towns and communities. The insurgents have been pushed out of all population centers and are rather contained in their enclaves, which are within the Lake Chad Islands, known as Tumbus. This created enabling environment for the conduct of humanitarian activities by other humanitarian organizations. To be very specific on one of our mandates, which is the return of internally displaced persons and refugees, in June of 2021, that's about 4 months ago, about 6,000 IDPs who fled the violence in 2015 were returned to their hometown of Barua in the far region of Niger Republic. Also in August of 2021, over 6,000 indigenes of Kroskawa, Baga, and Doron-Baga in Kukawa local government area of Borno State in Nigeria were successfully returned to their ancestral homes from internally displaced persons camp in Mongono. While earlier in March of 2021, about 5,000 refugees who had spent 6 years in the Minawau refugee camp in Cameroon returned to Banki town in Nigeria. And as recent as 2 weeks ago, the governor of Borno State, accompanied by the UN Special Representative for Africa, UNDP representative for Africa, Madam Akuna, was in Banki in Nigeria and also in Amchide in Cameroon. And what they saw there was quite interesting. Life is returning to normal. They helped in building immigration outposts and custom outposts, which tells you that normalcy is returning. Apart from this, we have had a lot of surrenders by Boko Haram terrorists, especially those of them of the Boko Haram faction of Shekau. Shekau was killed some months back, around May or thereabouts, and in the aftermath of his death, and as a result of some of the strategic communication operations that we are carrying out, it led to thousands of Boko Haram insurgents, inclusive of their family members, coming out. And this has been quite welcome. Despite all this, we have challenges. Basically, we are a military force, but we have some challenges. Some of the challenges are the issue of inadequate armored vehicles and counter-improvised explosive device equipment. We don't have this as we should, and this has been a big hindrance to the conduct of offensive operations. We have casualties, which could have been avoided if we have what can take care of this. Then we have the issue of inadequate surveillance equipment. We are fighting an enemy that is very mobile, that has knowledge of the terrain, and can move very well at night. So if we have this surveillance equipment, it will be a force multiplier of sorts. Issue of communications equipment, we do have some, but like the proverbial Oliver twist, if we can have a little bit more, it will assist us so that we can talk with our units. Most of the MNJTF sectors are from different countries. Sometimes issue of interoperability is an issue. This can be taken care of. The Lake Chad Basin, of course, is an amphibious environment. Therefore, there is the need for sectors of the MNJTF to have up-to-date amphibious capability. This will enable us patrol the Tumbus and enable us to have our control of the areas. Another issue is lack of dedicated strike aircraft. The MNJTF relies on the member states to donate air assets that will then become the Air Force of the MNJTF, because we are not the army of a country. However, due to one or two reasons, we have not been able to have that. And though the countries are trying their best, but there are other issues also outside the MNJTF area of responsibility. So this has hindered us. However, we want to thank the European Union for the support given to us. We have some helicopters for non-lethal operations or non-combat operations. They help us in airlifting and for CASIVAC, and also when we are rotating our troops. We thank them very much for this. Then also, lastly, the need for greater synergy between the national operations and the multinational joint task force. The threat posed by the Boko Haram terrorists is not only localized to the Chad area. Rather, it is a wider sub-regional problem that needs to be addressed collectively in a coordinated manner between the multinational joint task force and national operations of the countries of the Lake Chad Basin. Sometimes we have issues with this because sometimes national operations are held and the multinational joint task force troops are used sometimes without our knowledge. But I think with more discussion, with more interactions, we are getting over this. Lastly, let me talk about my projections before I leave the stage. We hope to establish an amphibious task force that will help us to that will improve our reach and make us have greater control of our area of operations. And also, there are plans with the help of the European Union to establish naval outposts in all the sectors, the 4 sectors of the multinational joint task force. We also plan to conduct, of course, influence of the information operations within the area so that we'll be able to reach out to the population and make them even drop their weapons without any fights. Then the issue of civil military cooperation activities have been very good. The feedback has been encouraging. We hope to do more, and hopefully our partners will always, as usual, come to our aid. We hope to create favorable conditions for resettlement of more refugees and internally displaced persons back to their homes, because we cannot claim to be winning this war if people remain in IDP camps or in refugee camps. And lastly, in the MNJTF, we don't joke with the issue of human rights and international humanitarian laws. So we hope to have more training on this for our troops and officers alike, so that operations will be carried out based on international standards and global best practices. So I think with these words, this will form the fulcrum of my keynote address. And if there are questions and observations, I think I will be able to, respond to them. And going forward, we'll be able to put 1 or 2 videos of people returning from IDP camps and refugee camps, and then 1 or 2 other pictures. Once again, I thank you very much for this opportunity, and look forward to having a robust engagement. Thank you.